Okay. Okay, good evening all and welcome to Professionalism and Corporate Etiquettes. Little buzzword, tongue twister for so many of us, the word etiquettes, right? When you're trying to write it, it's a little difficult. What is it all about? We're going to discover it today and maybe in one more session. Sum and substance, when you complete this Professionalism and Corporate Etiquettes course under the banner of Skillathon in Masai School, you're going to learn the social skills that are required for you at work. Because a lot of students, when they move from campus to corporate, right, they have the domain skills, they don't have social skills. While we are teaching you soft skills, there is something called as social skills. If you don't have that social skills, you will not have the confidence to interact with your colleagues. Your own self-esteem will be low. What happens? You will withdraw yourself in conversation. Networking does not happen and you yourself will withdraw. So we're going to look at few of the elements. Sumit Gangawar, you're right. We're going to cover email etiquettes, telephone etiquettes. Very good. Excellent. You remember it. It's good to revisit if you have already attended. Otherwise, for most of you, it will be new. So what is the learning objective? We will help you to understand and acquire social skills to become professional at workplace. How to know and get co-workers to know, like and trust you. Remember, coding is not an individual sport. It is not like chess. While yes, largely you'll be working on your laptop, but through the laptop you'll be working with teams on projects to solve problems. So social skills are extremely important. Let's look at why your work wardrobe is important. You may say, I'm working from home, I can be on my pajamas, right? Or I'll just turn off the camera. But if you don't develop what does it require to be at work, you will miss out a lot. Master your conversations to appear intelligent and competent. What you say and how you say, people are observing. They form impressions. Are you a withdrawn person? Do you speak fast? Do you counter every statement the other person is saying? Are you a good listener? Do you speak very fast? All these things, people are observing you. Conquer networking events with confidence and strategy. There would be opportunities for you. Let's say that they'll call you for an all hands meeting, or there could be a company get together where you try to meet people from different departments, or you've been called to office and suddenly you will see people from different sections. Would you like to connect with them, or you just want to stay aloof? Start to manage your online presence and your personal brand. You are a brand, just like Tata is a brand, Nescafe is a brand, Adidas is a brand. Similarly, Soumyanil is a brand, Masai is a brand, Yogesh is a brand, Tanya is a brand. Right? It's a brand. Brand has a name. Brand has an identity. Brand has a value. Right? So it's very important at this very young age you start building. Then you will see that all the dividends that you are going to get, all of them, it could not be immediate, but you will see in 5-10 years, all that work that you do now has a huge impact on the brand. Okay, so these are the few things that we are going to cover between today and one more session. So let's get started. Let's understand why first. Why professionalism and corporate etiquettes, business etiquette is required. There are 100 reasons, but I'm going to share 3 reasons. The first one is business is done with people, right? Irrespective, even tech is also done with people. And as I keep telling you, as a developer, you will spend only 30% on coding, the rest working with people. So building, nurturing and fostering relationship with your colleagues, cross-functional teams and other stakeholders. Do you understand this word stakeholder? How many of you understand this word stakeholder? Type me. I'll give you an example. Let's say Masai School is trying to build an alternate platform for metal. This project is owned up by Keshav and his team. Now let's take Aman Saxena is working on this. Aman Saxena is from admissions, who is the owner of making sure there is an alternate to metal. Now he has to work with Amit Saharan, who's from the actual tech. He has to coordinate with Aman Watts for for question bank on math and logic. He has to work with me for communication skills. He has to work with UX designer for the proper user interface. Then he needs Pushkar to integrate it on our admissions platform for product. He needs Nrupul and Pratik's go ahead on the entire thing. Albert is not involved in this project. Did you see? Aman Singhal has to work with 6 people. Now there are 6 different stakeholders. I'm just giving you an example here. So I have to work with 6 different stakeholders to make my project work. And if I don't have that social skill, and if I'm not approaching it in a professional way, understanding the etiquettes around which everyone is going to work, do you think Aman Singhal is going to pull this project out? What do you think if he doesn't have this? Possible? No way. No way. Right? So building, nurturing and fostering relationship with your colleagues and cross-functional team and other stakeholders is super critical for your professional success. And that is why we are going to teach you professionalism and corporate etiquettes. How many of you are interested to learn this? Not taught in schools and colleges. And it is very important, and they are expecting you to do this from day one. They may give you time to pick up some technical aspect at work, but they expect you to deliver professionalism and corporate etiquette. Follow the corporate etiquettes, isn't it? Life is unfair. You have studied 4 years of engineering, 3 years of graduation. Nowhere they have taught you, but on day one they are expecting this. Right? So let's get to it. Okay? So what is our promise? Our promise is, when you finish this course, and I'm doing it for the first time in a different module, it could happen in 1 to 2 sessions. And when you implement the learnings, that's the key word. Knowing is not doing. Right? At the end of this session, if you are very attentive and the design is good, delivery is good, you may know. But that is not doing. You need to implement your learnings. And when you do that, you'll see a change in the way you interact with others and the way others interact with you. And the new opportunities will unfold. Right? The new opportunities will unfold. That is the secret. And that is because you have mastered your social skills. Are there any prerequisites? Who can attend this course? It is not that whom Tanya has invited for this course. There are some more prerequisites. That's the first prerequisite, of course. Without that, you can't come. Somebody is saying 3-0 and pass. Good one. I am happy that you understand the math process. The fundamental prerequisites are a desire to build a solid and a valuable professional reputation. You must have that desire. Desire is very important. I want to build a solid and a valuable professional reputation. And when they say Mehul, he's a professional. That should be the reputation. A desire to feel more confident in situations. And a desire to be an excellent professional, not an average one. So you see that the key word is desire. I don't know what is the Hindi word. Ichha. Am I right? Help me out. Desire. Chahat. I think Ichha. Ichha. Desire is Ichha. Okay. To be an excellent professional. So let's get started. When you learn this, you get 3 things. You'll improve your quality of life. Because please remember, you're going to work 8, 10, 12 hours of your day at work. Let's say 24 hours, you're going to sleep for 6, 8 hours. The balance is 16 hours. right? In that, if you're going to work 10, 12 hours, that means the major portion of the time when you're awake, you're spending at work. And if you don't have the requisite skills, requisite mindset, and being professional, it improves your quality of life, higher job satisfaction, and it also increases your respect. Imagine that all these three are there with you. You will start enjoying every moment of your work. All these things like work-life balance, boredom, exhaustion, anxiety, stress, everything will go away. Remember, most of us are going to work for 40 years for sure. And in 40 years, if you're not helping you to improve your quality of life, you're not satisfied, and you feel that you're not being respected, life will be a hell. So let's pick up something that is going to help us in a big way. So being professional is more than just being good at what you do. Many a times for us, professional means what? A doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect, a dentist. That's what we keep hearing, right? Professional, professional. It is much more than your degrees. Actually, at work, especially in the corporate world, nobody walks around with a tag that I'm a B.Tech or an M.Tech or an MCA or a master's, whatever it is, right? So what is professionalism? Can you use your chat box and type? It could be a word or a phrase or even a sentence without using Google. What is professionalism? What is professionalism? Master in our work, okay? Makes everything systematic, being perfect at what you do, okay? Mehul says. Amit says loyal in work. Vishal says our behavior towards others at work. Nice one, Vishal Kale. Being knowledgeable, mastery, behave, work ethics, good one. So, I was looking at many definitions. I like this one. Professionalism is a determined effort by everyone in the workplace to give their best each and every day. And you will see this as a culture, as a value in an organization. Determined effort by everyone in the workplace to give their best each and every day. Please remember, businesses of all sizes, whether it is a startup, seed, series A, B, C, unicorn, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Tata, Motors, any company, relies on credibility, confidence, and reputation to survive, and their people are part of their impression. Now look at Masai School. You're all dealing with Masai School. Masai is just a legal entity, but you're dealing with Yogesh, Nupul, Aman, Albert, experienced champions, Keshav and his team. Right? It is the people are part of that impression. Varun, everyone, right? Are you understanding this, friends? Ultimately, the business is done through people. Okay? So given that fact, how do we, what is it required to be professionalism? Is it only talking in English? Or is it only dressing up very well? Or is it just the degree? Or just the knowledge? Or just the skill? Or just the mindset? We have distilled 6 things that are required for a path to professionalism. Starting with very basic. You see, many things in life are very, very fundamental, but we somehow overlook it for whatever reason. The first one is punctuality and attendance. Communication, again, the building blocks of professionalism. Today, Nupul comes to me and says, Yogesh, have you taught Google Calendar to students? I said, not really. Please teach them. I have sent an interview invite and the student has not accepted. I don't know whether he's going to come or not. Communication, basic communication. Payoshini sent a message to Web 15 students for a catch-up call. In that group, there were 19, and she specifically said, type okay if you are coming. Only 6 of them typed. Communication. Today, in the interconnected world, please over-communicate. You have Slack, you have email, you have WhatsApp, whatnot. Attitude, the mindset. Presentation and appearance. How do you groom? How do you dress? Competence and initiative. I'm going to talk about this number 5 in detail. Many of them are competent, but they don't take the initiative. They're not proactive. I've also seen at work, it hurts. It pulls you down. And finally, respect. 6 things, path to professionalism. Punctuality and attendance, communication, mindset, presentation and appearance, competence and initiative, respect. Let's get going with each one of them. Let's start with the first one, the punctuality and attendance. Right? Beautifully said. Woody Allen was a very, very senior leader at a large MNC in a Fortune 500 company. He said 80% of success in life is just showing up. There's a big challenge today in dispersed workforce. A lot of people don't just show up on the meetings, or they just show up only in the name, but they don't participate. There's a lot of disconnected world happening. So 80% of success in life is just showing up. One of the most important qualities of an employee can display is dependability. If let's say if Aditya Mutal has accepted my invitation for a meeting, is Aditya dependable that he will show up? And it has come to a conclusion over a period of time. I know there could be exigencies in life, but you know exigencies happen very rarely. And we can't use that as an excuse for not showing up in most of the meeting. Dependability. The main factor in being dependable is attendance. Right? Punctuality and attendance is usually the top priority when it comes to employees' performance and is necessary for continued professional growth. The big challenges at work. We can give 99 reasons for not being up, but you need that one reason for not showing up. Right? Punctuality and attendance is usually the top priority. Now the question is, when an employee has consistently poor attendance, it affects all areas of the business. Today, each member is interconnected to what they contribute. Let me give you an example. In order to make this presentation live, I am depending on 3-4 people. I gave the content, Deepthi made the design, Tanya has set up this call, some other inputs has to come from somebody, right? So what happens if the person is not attending? What are the consequences of poor attendance? There is a drop in productivity, both at individual, team and organization. Please remember, in today's corporate world, most of us works on tight deadlines. Especially if you're in the startup, you go and ask, when do you want this project to be completed? They will say yesterday. Always it is like that. Because they are constantly chasing to achieve bigger numbers, solving bigger problems. So in that case, if you don't show up and the project is stalled, there's a drop in productivity at individual level, team level and organizational level. Can you see the impact? Obviously, if it is super important, then we will say, please, can you complete this work for me? Right? But it can't keep happening every time. Financial implications, cost of temporary replacement, company reputation, everything is at stake. So guys, the first thing that you need to understand is punctuality and attendance, non-negotiable. You have a right to take off, inform in advance, plan properly. Of course, there could be some exigencies in that case, you need to inform them also. There's a nice adage that goes, if you come 5 minutes late and leave 5 minutes early every day, then you have stolen 30 hours of work in 1 year. Math is really fuzzy. You keep seeing the cumulative impact is even bigger. Okay, so let's look at what do we do. The best way to show that you are organized is through punctuality. And when you are punctual, what does it show? It's key to professional success. And punctual people are respected by everyone. Have you ever seen Nupul logging late for Scrum? Have you ever seen? Never, right? And look at the respect, apart from his credibility, apart from his competence, etc. The very fact that I don't know, in 3 years he has ever logged late. Once he was late, he messaged me. That too late because his vehicle got punctured. He said, worst case, I'll log in from my mobile. Punctual people are respected by everyone. Punctuality also reflects individual respect for other people. I think I gave you the Japanese story, right? Do you remember the Japanese story that I had shared with you? Train 1, yes, Sumit. You remember? Yes. You remember that? 7 o'clock was the meeting with my MD. The Japanese person had reached the lobby at 6:55. My MD sees him. He has a look at him, but they don't come. My MD was not sure it is the same person. At 7 o'clock, he comes and says, Ravi, let's start. And later in the evening, when he asked, you were in the lobby at 6:55, I was there, you know me. Why you didn't approach me? We could have started 5 minutes before. He says, no. 6:55 is your time. I can't take your 5 minutes. 7 o'clock is our time. So it also reflects an individual's respect for other people. It brings integrity to our life. It helps to do our work on time. It's an important quality of leaders. Punctuality is a great trait, virtue in many countries. Japan, Germany, Australia, many parts of Europe, to a large extent even in America. But somehow in our culture, punctuality is not that deep-rooted. We have challenges. That's why they say Indian Standard Time. In fact, I used to work in Middle East. It is called Egyptian Standard Time. It is even bad. Then African Standard Time, even bad. There used to be more delay. Punctuality reduces anxiety and builds confidence. Punctuality saves time for themselves and others. Punctuality represents you as a man of words in front of others. I can go on and on and on punctuality. So I think it's a good trait to pick up at this young age. I know at home we may not be punctual, but you try to be punctual and you see how people will start respecting you and your own self-esteem goes up. Just because others are not punctual, that doesn't give you a right even you can be not punctual. अरे यार वो ऐसे भी 10 बजे बोलता है 10:30 आता है हम 11 बजे जाएंगे. That is not the approach, right? So I want all of you to take a vow that the mindset of a punctuality, consistently being on time, is a product of proper planning, personal discipline and respect for other people's time. Don't blame traffic, don't blame rains. You need to plan for it. Making a habit of being late demonstrates none of these things, and it is often a sign of patch priorities and selfishness. Habitual lateness says my time is more valuable than yours. Learn to be reliable and a person of integrity by adopting the discipline necessary to be on time. Yeah, you may think that Yogesh is giving you something, but this helped me at a very young age. One thing that I can tell you that I'm very punctual. 99% I'm punctual. 1% I need to improve. But I make sure that I've always logged my sessions on time. In fact, for me, it is 7 minutes before is my time. So let's exercise the vow of punctuality, that I swear that I'll be punctual. That's a good one to have. It'll have a lot of dividends. So 5 tips to be late in case you are late. Unavoidable circumstances. Inform the concerned person that you will be late. right? Today you are connected world. You can send a WhatsApp message, you can send a Slack message, you can send any form of message. And do not give excuses. First thing you have to stop is to give excuses. I didn't get parking, my internet was down, I went out of battery, etc. etc. My previous meeting went extended. Accept that it was you. Reminding yourself of losing respect and put yourself in other shoes and stop procrastinating the departure. This is what happens, right? Let's say that I have a meeting my friend at 8 o'clock and I know it takes half an hour to go from here. At 7:30, I'll say 5 minutes ke baad niklunga. Another 5 minutes, then I'll be late for sure. So stop procrastinating. Okay. The second aspect is communication. I'm sure a lot of things have been discussed with you on communication, but it is quickly, let's do that. So when it comes to both verbal and non-verbal, you need to take care. First, I'll cover the oral or verbal communication. Be clear and concise. Don't give long sentences, long stories. Nobody has patience today. Think before you speak. Be positive instead of negative. Reflect on your conversation. Ask open-ended questions. We have taught you there are two kinds of questions broadly: open questions and closed questions. Open questions elicit responses. Closed question on a closed question on a closed question, it looks like an interrogation. Right? Written communication, very simple, follow the ABC format. Accurate, very brief, and clearly. Basics, check grammar, carefully proofread and edit, spell check, rethink your response before you send button. Don't use email if the subject needs face-to-face conversation. Non-verbal communication, the super 7, you need to take care. You know, did I do that exercise of non-verbal? Have I done that exercise with you? Putting the forefinger in air? Not yet? How many of you done this exercise with me? Yeah? Done. You remember that, right? Non-verbal, whenever you communicate, there is a verbal part and non-verbal. And non-verbal has 55% impact. Verbal has 45% impact. So you need to take care. There are 7 things in non-verbal communication. I call them the big 7. Gestures. You see that I often use my hands for gesture. It adds value to the communication immensely, especially in this Zoom world where you connect through a small window. Did you see naturally my expressions are going? I can always speak like this. The impact is not there. Yes, second unit, gestures. Voice, tone, inflection. Voice, tone, inflection. Eye contact. That is why you have to practice turning on the webcam and comfortable looking at the webcam. Do you all think that I am speaking to you one-on-one? Do you feel that? Why? Because I have practiced this and it has become very natural. That I feel that I'm talking to Mehul, I'm talking to Surya one-on-one. That's the power. And I always look straight. I sit straight. Everything is planned. My distance is 1 arm. I don't do like this. You'll never see the roof. Right? Have you ever seen me like this? Right? Or have you seen me like this? Never, right? Always, it's a 1 arm distance. It's a good distance to have. Always position yourself in that window. All these are small things. People don't realize how disturbing it can be. Facial expressions, smile. It makes the other person comfortable. Posture. I just saw somebody sitting like this. Right? I just saw today a Web 15 batch. He has come for understanding the placement process and he's like this. No, it has to be erect. Posture. Grooming. Right? So, and the last one is personal space, especially if you're talking about in-person meeting, you should not be too close to that person. Take care about it. Okay, this is the big 7: gestures, voice, tone, eye contact, facial expression, posture, appearance, etc. The next one, what you should not do. Don't gossip, don't flirt with opposite sex, don't discuss politics, religion, or personal problems. Don't complain about your job, co-workers, or supervisor. Don't criticize, insult your co-workers or seniors. Don't get into all these things. A professional does not gossip. A professional does not discuss politics, religion, or personal problems at office. Right? So, moving from communication, let's look at the attitude, the mindset. Attitude is the little thing that makes a big difference, said Winston Churchill. Okay? Now, what are the few things that you can do that can impact at workplace? Always be positive. Let me tell you, startup is a place where the founders and the team are enthusiastic, energetic, and excited about the problems they are solving. And if you're always being negative, they're going to say, why this guy is here? I know the challenges are tough. I'm trying to solve something for which I don't have a playbook. I need to be positive. You need to show enthusiasm. I gave you the instances, right? 5 students from Java batch, all of them doing very well. They went for the interview. They cleared their assignment. They went for an interview. Within 45 minutes, the CEO said, all are rejected. They lacked enthusiasm. They lacked energy. They lacked excitement. You need not jump and shout like sometimes you watch in the TV. But you need to show that, right? How do you show that in the small window? Through your voice, through your gestures, through your facial expression. Asking relevant questions. I want enthusiasm, guys. Enthusiasm is the fire which will keep you going. Be accountable. Take up ownership. Eye contact, nodding, Mehul, perfect, thumbs up. Eye contact, nodding is the way you're saying that I'm involved. Be excited about the problems they're solving. The next one I'm going to cover a bit detail, and I want to see all of you guys dress appropriately. I'm not expecting you to wear blazers and suits, not required. But few things you need to take care. Perception matters. Self-perception is equally important as attendance and punctuality. Right? Be well-groomed, maintain proper hygiene. Follow the company or industry or profession dress code. Maintain healthy and safety standards. Your appearance is a reflection of the company or the organization you work for. You represent the brand. You can't be shabby. Right? I'll cover dressing and grooming a little later again. I have a detailed module there. Number 5 for being professional is competence and initiative. It is coming a little late. Many of you think only competence, but equally important is initiative. Competence is nothing but knowledge into skill. I have the requisite knowledge and the skill, you are competent. Performance of job duties in any efficient and a proficient manner. Keep skills current and continuous learner. That's it. You need to keep the skills current. That is, continuously you learn. I have an interesting question from Vaibhav. Sir, is it okay to have some glucose water before I go for the interview? Go ahead and do it. That's why, in our tradition, before you're going for an important work, they give you a sweet or give you a spoon of sugar or a curd and sugar. How many of you have had this, your mothers and brothers and sisters doing this? Sweet curd. Why? It's that energy is important. Right? It's okay. Have a chocolate. Have a chocolate. Perfectly fine. Energy is important. In fact, we say have a proper meal well in advance. Because if you are hungry, if you are thirsty, if you're sapped over basic energy, how will the enthusiasm come? Initiative, being proactive helps you to leverage at work. Now let me tell you one core competence that can give you 10x reward in today's work environment is problem solving. Critical thinking and problem solving skill is the most wanted. Ask what the problem is, analyze it, explore all possible solutions, list solutions from the best to worst, select the best solution and evaluate the solution. Many of us run away from a problem. You must embrace the problem. This is what gives you an opportunity to prove your capability, right? If you're doing routine work, machines will take over. Few things machines are not able to do as of today. They are not able to solve problems. When I say problem solving, I'm not talking about mathematic computational problem solving. The second one is building relationships. These two things you must be good at it. Right? I've seen a lot of young folks, they don't take initiative. You need to take initiative. It increases the value as an employee. It enhanced independence, more career advancement opportunities, a more meaningful and fulfilling work experience. When all this happens, respect, you get respect. Is a foundation of workplace success. You must respect the company's policies, managers, co-workers and customers. Consideration for others, value. People are coming from different parts of the country, and which is a multinational company, will be working from different parts of the world. You will have people of different age groups, from 20 to 60 maybe. You have people from different functionalities. It's very important to understand. Some of the respectful workplace behavior: get to know your co-workers well. During a coffee or a lunch or a meet out, be courteous. Encourage co-workers to express opinions and ideas. Listen to others' viewpoints. Ask for inputs, insights and help. Steer away from gossip. Avoid getting into arguments. Follow workplace standards. Be a source of positivity and encouragement. Share credit when deserved. A big list, good to know, but more important is to practice. So let's do a quick learning check of what we have learned so far. Let's see how many of you can answer this. The first one: what is wrong with the below image? Attitude of the employee, unprofessional dress code, disrespectful behavior, all of the above. Okay? What's wrong with this? I'll be on leave 10 and 11 of this month, approve the same. John wrote this email to his manager asking to approve his leave. What do you think was mistake? Grammar, spelling, slang, all of them. Absolutely. The first one is unprofessional dress code. The second is all of the above. Your appearance is a reflection of the company or the organization you work. True or false? True. Which of the following behavior does not look professional and respectful? Ask for advice and help. Encourage co-workers but never allow them to express. Be a source of positivity. Absolutely, you're right. Okay, good. So before I move to corporate etiquette, I'll take a pause here and then I will start after a moment.